this piece I wanted to create with a theme. I started with the checkerboard, which I went with the May Gibbs theme. The May Gibbs theme of the flannel flowers and the eucalypt gum leaves. And I thought I'll do all the icons in her characters. But really, to be able to make them, I had to be able to make them in paper. I sort of slightly diverted and became an Australiana theme. I kept with the green and gold of our national colours. Then I had to look at icons, and it's probably more a Sydney-related icons. Growing up here and being in Sydney, the tallest piece being the Centre Point Tower, the King, the Harbour Bridge being the Queen, and of course the Rook or the Castle had to be the Opera House. The Bishop is the cockatoo there on the perch, and of course the Knight had to be the jumping piece, was the Kangaroo. But you know, the Kangaroo, when I made the first time I did the Kangaroo, it looked like a bit like a rabbit. My youngest daughter said, it looks like a bit like a rabbit. Well, it does jump, but I didn't really intend it to be a rabbit. So I had to make it a little Joey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, of course, the hardest piece of all were the echidnas, the rooks. I was looking for something that was small and insignificant, and I've had quite a process to come to that conclusion to do the echidnas, which I have things like jars of Vegemite and the thong and different small incidental items. But the echidnas are quite effective in the end.
Yeah, that would have been funny seeing a whole lot of flip-flop thongs as the
yes.
instead.
You've got to be able to create this in paper. It doesn't always want to do what you want it to do. So.
And what about the actual checkerboard itself? How did you come up with the...
Well,
that's from May Gibbs.
Yes, the May Gibbs are supposed to represent the flannel flower. And they are wheat ears in the petals, and that's how the Vortex Coil was evolved.
Oh, okay.
From the petals of the flannel flower.
So I should just point out here, Licia actually coined and invented the Vortex Coil. So I think it's a good point at this juncture to talk about the Vortex Core. So it started when you're making this piece and then it sort of evolved from there, or how did that come about?
I had many of them on my workbench of the petals. What I tend to do is just make a whole lot and then I construct the actual the piece that I'm working on, the flower. And I had a lot of them, I was just playing around with them, and I manipulated the shape. When I pushed it down and let it go, it made this like a vortex shape. Out of those pieces, I sent a design to the Guild to be submitted into their Quilling Quarterly magazine. And Jane Jenkins, who had noticed this different shape, she wrote to me and said to me, I'd like to name that shape the Vortex Core. Would you mind? I think it's something new and something different. And I said, I'd be honoured that you think that's worthy of being recognised. It evolved from that leftover wheat ears from the flannel flowers.
Wow.
Of the checkerboard.
So who would have thought, like in 1996 when you first discovered quilling, you'd actually be inventing like a really important technique?
Sometimes that's what happens. I think people stumble on them by chance, inventions, and things happen. And this is purely one of those cases.
Amazing. That's so cool.